What's up everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing another breakdown here of 3 Attackmen who are going to be graduating in the spring of 2020. 3 All-Americans, 3 really high-level players who are all really lethal and effective at the attack position, but all have a little bit of different styles. We're going to talk about what I think makes each of these guys really effective. We're going to talk about Jeff Teague from Cornell. We're going to talk about Michael Krause from UVA. We're going to talk about Ament from Penn State. So first, starting off with Jeff Teague, the thing I think that really defines Jeff Teague is his passing and his vision and his high IQ. He's a really slick player. He's a lefty Canadian, and he's really able to find teammates and make everyone around him better, so much to the fact that a lot of teams feel the need to shut him off when they're playing games. It was a big theme the past 2 seasons about teams face guarding Jeff Teague, and we're going to see why in a couple of these clips. So here off the end line, coming hard off of a little pick, you're going to see one of his teammates on the backside with 6 seconds left in the 4th quarter. He's firing a ball, cross crease, about 15 to 20 yard type of pass, right on the stick for a catch and finish. Looks like the game winner for Cornell versus Princeton. So, unbelievable vision and ability to put the ball on his teammate's stick. Again, another example, inside off of a dodge, and then being able to step away, put it on the stick for a finish. He's quintessential attackman of being able to make those around him better by having really elite vision and elite feeding ability. So here's another thing that Teague is really effective at, not only his finishing, but his ability to back guys down. He does a really good job of absorbing and handling contact while having his eyes up. So you see here, he's working the short stick matchup, no one's sliding, and he eventually is able to inside roll and then twist or finish basically right at the goalie's stick. So he has a lot of ability to add deception to his shooting, which is the other part of his game, that could be on the underrated side because his vision is so effective. So it's pretty impressive to watch him finish the ball in tight spaces or with guys on his hands. Again, here's another example, a little rollback down the alley, get his stick back to the inside, and then a nice leaner finish. This is a leaner that we broke down last year in some class in session videos, really dropping his eyes, but then sticking the ball in that high and away corner. And he's just a really big time threat. So it's gonna be exciting to see what he does in the indoor game and in the pro game for field when he graduates from Cornell. Moving on from Jeff Teague, we're going to start digging into Michael Krause. Michael Krause, compared to Jeff Teague, I would say might be a little more of a physical dodger and a little more speed, but he reminds me of more of a slasher type, a guy who's really running hard off the end line, drawing slides, turning the corner, and really finishing the ball as an elite scorer while still having the ability to distribute. Here you see him running upfield, a little bounce, nice feed inside to Ian Laviano. He's dodging hard, he gets good body turn, and then puts the ball on his teammate's stick. This is a great example against Hopkins of his ability to score. So, playing against a really strong defender here who fights through the pick, gets in his hands, a little rocker step, and then shoot right off the hip. That's a sign of a really savvy attackman who knows what he's trying to get, and he's really good at getting his left hand when he wants it. So his explosiveness off the dodge allows him to create for himself, but then his ability to be physical allows him to back down guys and then get good shots off. Kind of moving on here, Michael Krause is not afraid of contact, right? He digs into his defender, nice inside roll, tucks his stick, finishes in front. Right, really effective move as an attackman, right? And I think his physicality allows him to really be effective as he attacks. Given that he's very explosive too, he's very bouncy with the ball. And what I mean by that is he bounces and changes speeds, and then when he sees something open, he attacks hard. So here, he's attacking from behind, he's a feeder, he's a dodger, he's constantly changing his body language. A slide comes, and he's looking to feed, and then here, nice move to get underneath, gets this guy out of position, and then finishes righty coming inside. So he really has the ability to finish with both hands, which makes him really effective when he's dodging from X. All right, so lastly, we're gonna get into covering Ament. And one of the things that's really, really impressive about Ament is his ability to feed. So much that he was really the maestro of the Penn State offense. If you want, tune into this Penn State video we did last year where we really dug into the different 2-man games and ability for Penn State to use Ament in situations to get big time scorers like Mac O'Keefe open for shots. Ament is a little smaller in stature than the first 2 attackmen that we covered, but he's extremely explosive, extremely two-handed, and he has the ability to feed from so many different angles, and he's really hard to stay with, so he's always getting his hands free to feed. This is a great example of him changing his angle of his feed to get the ball around a defender and get it to his teammate. He's not even attacking hard, and his defender has the stick in the lane, and he's able to throw a nice underhand feed around this defender, really slick, right to his teammate's stick. I mean, that feeding ability, the only other person that I would say really is feeding like that consistently with both hands is Tom Schreiber. So it's really impressive to see him do this. He's a high level IQ type of player, playing the little two-man game, mirroring the crease at X, catches and finishes with a little twister, right? So he's just got a high skill set and stick work, and he's able to make plays in a lot of different situations. In a man-up scenario, you see him change the angle of the feed, right? A little sidearm feed to find the passing lane, right? Sometimes if you're keeping your stick overhand and throwing overhand, the lane's not there, but if you can drop your hands and feed around, you find those passing lanes and recognize that. So really nice job there feeding Mac O'Keefe. You know, we saw that a lot last year, and we'll expect to see it again in 2020 as they're both back for their senior year. Here's Grant Ament off a dodge in a short stick matchup, not afraid to be physical, bearing down, and then a nice jump shot running down the alley. So again, you're not afraid to use his body by any means, and showing that, for someone who is a great feeder, the thought might be to short stick that matchup, maybe make him beat you on a dodge, et cetera, or maybe you keep the long pole in his hands, but it really doesn't matter, and he's able to get his hands free. And here he's not afraid, to win that one-on-one matchup. Hope you enjoyed that breakdown of Jeff Teague, Michael Krause, and Grant Ament. Look for these guys to be high picks in next year's POL draft class. Make sure you scroll down, hit subscribe to Sideline Swap, and make sure you follow @FirstClassLacrosse and @22Classy on Instagram for more breakdowns and content like this.